And then you go there, you have one guy puking on the left, you have this guy sleeping on the floor, you have this one guy talking to himself on the couch. It's really sad, but hey, the life moves on, everything is fine, it's just a car. You can...
Welcome to the PinkCoffeePodcast. I'm your host Jonas.
I'm your host Nasser. What's up, guys?
We have a guest.
Yes.
Finally.
Hi guys. So I'm Rasmus. It's a weird name to say in English, but you guys understand. I'm pretty much a normal guy. Nothing special. I speak 4 languages, so...
Yes, sir.
Yes.
4 language guy.
Yeah.
That's already special.
Yeah.
Because I know some Finnish people that only speak Finnish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Are you half Swedish?
I'm actually not. So
Okay.
it's basically in Finland we have this thing called it's called in Finnish suomenruotsalainen.
Suomenruotsalainen.
So it basically means that we are Finnish, we are born in Finland, but
Finnish Swedish.
yeah,
That's what.
yeah,
it
pretty much.
translates to.
We're Finnish people, but our language which we speak the most is Swedish.
We also have a new podcast member.
Yes.
Enma.
Her name is Enma.
Enma
Can you
says
hear her purring?
Damn.
Yeah, she's probably gonna.
Be here a lot.
Yeah, she's gonna always join our podcast and just do her own thing. Just ignore her. Probably not.
Yeah,
She's gonna be
and-
actually
yeah.
the main attraction.
She's
And
gonna be the main
if the
attraction.
audio line or the video line cuts off,
You know who
It's
it
on
is.
her,
Yeah.
it's on us, yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you're allergic to cats, right? So
Yeah, but
maybe-
it's like the thing with having being allergic to stuff is like over the years, like, yeah, it's bad, don't get me wrong, like if I
Yeah.
sleep next to a cat, like next day is gonna be like I will be huffing and puffing the whole night.
Yeah.
And I will wake up like trying to get air, so pretty much
Almost breathing.
yeah,
Almost.
almost breathing.
how many allergies do you have?
I don't know. Well, I know the biggest ones. I know the one I'm supposed to be careful of. Like I know the ones which kill me, and I know the ones which will, yeah, pretty much. I know the ones which will kill me, and I also know the ones which will make my life really a pain in the ass. As like for example dogs and cats and stuff like this. But like, I think the number is like somewhere around 10 to 20. To be honest, like if I count in every single one. I think.
Yeah, and the
That
funny
is
story is
Crazy.
that like me and Rasmus, we were in sauna,
Yeah.
and after the sauna I looked at his body and I was like, bro, why do you have like a lot of like red dots like
Yeah.
this size? He has a water allergy,
Yes, correct. Yeah. So
which is a very like
it's really special. Like I don't think I've ever been diagnosed with it, but it definitely is something. Cause like the way my body reacts to like for example cold water or let's say a sauna is pretty much what you just described. It's like red dots all over the place, itching like a mother, and like it's really a really pain in the ass.
Because that's the thing, like, I also have had this thing where I go to shower,
Yeah.
and then my body, like, itches a lot. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is, like, for, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always happen, sometimes.
Yeah.
So with you, it's
It can be for me as well. It's not always,
Yeah.
but it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
I would say.
But with, like, redness and stuff.
Yeah. Like the redness almost comes every single time. But
Damn.
then if it starts to be really pain in the ass and itches, that's a different question. That's like,
At least you don't have a volcano on your scalp.
yeah.
oh yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, go for
Let
it.
me tell you
Let me
something.
tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
What makes you really happy in life?
Damn. Alright, that's a good question though.
Yes.
That's
something you have to think about a little bit, right?
yeah, man.
Something that you see or do every time. It's just like, this is what I live for. You know what I mean?
I think it's the first thing, of course, is like friends.
Yes.
Like to be honest, like I think like life without friends would be a pain in the ass. Like
Yes.
it would be horrible. Just saying.
I mean, it's a pain in the
everyone,
ass with
yeah.
them as well, but like,
Yeah. It's
it's like
it's a 50-50.
without them, right?
Yeah. Welcome to Finland. Everybody here just thinks that having fun is just drinking. Like nobody, if you think Finnish people go out having fun with their friends, just going out, it's always with alcohol. Like you won't see people going out without the alcohol, especially on weekends. Like that's a big no.
Or something worse.
Yeah, or something worse. So like especially on summertime, like if you hear people, yeah, we're going to the summer cottage, we will have fun and stuff like this. We'll go to the sauna. You'll be like, oh yeah, nice. And then you go there, you have one guy puking on the left, you have this guy sleeping on the floor, you you have this one guy talking to himself on the couch. That's what Finnish people like.
Yeah.
But as you guys know, but they don't, I've lived in Spain for like, what, 10 years?
Hello guys. Today we are doing a list of top 5 monkey.
So for me, I would say I grew up in Spain.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I grew up in Spain.
I could say so because Nasser also was in
10
Germany
years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Same
So
feeling, yeah.
like
It's
he didn't
basically
grow-
you grew up in Germany.
Yes,
Pretty
same
much.
thing.
Yes, exactly.
10-year gang.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. For me, the whole alcohol thing was like the culture in Spain is amazing. I love it. It's like the alcohol thing in Spain is pretty much that they go out with their friends, and let's say a group of friends like us would go out in Spain. It would be more of just going out, for example, to a bar to watch, for example, sports. But the alcohol is like on the side. It's not the
Yeah,
main
it's like
objective.
the secondary thing.
Yeah,
'Cause here it's like let's go.
Alcohol,
Yeah.
then everything else.
that's the
And
main
then,
objective
like,
here.
rest.
Like, but in Spain, it's not really that. It's like more of just, enjoying it as the taste and as it is. But it's in Finland. It's really the whole.
Getting drunk.
Yeah, it's the whole thing, and it's really sad to be honest.
It is. Like sometimes you meet a guy and you're like, this guy's amazing and stuff, and then you start seeing how he's like when he's drunk.
Oh yeah,
And the problem is if it's a lot, it's like
yeah. It's not really fun.
You don't really drink.
No, I don't. I think, for me personally, like I drink, I would say more of just the taste and
Yeah.
kind of like for example, like in Finland, it's a culture thing to, for example, take one beer to the sauna. Like it's a thing.
Yes.
So for me, for example, that's because it's just the combination is really good.
Yeah,
So-
but you don't get like drunk.
No. I've been once, and that was enough. And I can just tell everyone, the next day. And I think most of people know this, but the next day, the first time you drink, and the next day, it's
hangovers.
bro, it's built different.
Can I give an
Yeah.
example? Can you tell
Yeah.
me how much it like feels like that?
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever tried to fix your sleeping schedule by like staying up one whole day?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know this feeling where like the whole day feels like it's just ruined because you have no energy for anything?
Oh yeah.
You just like thinking about sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of like that, or is it worse than that?
Oh yeah. It's much worse.
Much worse.
Yeah. So think about the feeling when you can't sleep, and
Yeah.
you're really like you feel like you have a headache, but at the same time you want to puke like every single minute, and at the same time you can't move because you're at your bed and your body is just shaking, like you're shaking because you have no energy, you have no food, you have no water on your body. It doesn't really matter what you drink, you'll puke it up, and that's like for the next 10 hours.
Oh man.
Like for the next 10 hours, and like
But why do you do that to yourself?
no, but that's the thing. That's why I don't do it anymore. Like it was once, and I was like, this. Like I was like, never again. Like it was so shit.
Rasmus and the PinkCoffee channel do not recommend doing this.
No, we do not. Disclaimer: we do not recommend drinking at all. Like that. No, don't do it.
Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I think him buying
So-
Twitter is a good thing.
So he literally, I think he unbanned most people.
And I think it's a good thing because Twitter has always been a place where people literally tell their opinions and the way they think and stuff like this. I think it's, and I think the sad thing about this world is that nowadays we are afraid and we are expected to not say stuff which other people don't like.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it, okay? In a certain situations, you have to understand that you cannot say stuff. But like otherwise, I think like if I want to go out, let's say, on a podcast, and I want to say what I feel as a human being with my own brain, I have the right to do it. And if somebody there don't like it, that's
don't
their
like it.
problem.
Like, to be honest, you can't have opinions without actually hurting someone else's.
That's also
Yeah, that's true. And I think that, especially with, if we go back to Andrew Tate for a moment, I think with Andrew Tate, like, the thing which people don't realize is he is a great businessman.
Yeah,
He's the most, like, he knows so much about how this social media and this 2020 world works. Because if you guys didn't know, he has this Hustlers University.
Yeah, I know.
I went and checked yesterday. There's 160,000 people subscribed, and that is 50 euros a month. I did a quick math, and that's around 8 million euros per month just from those people who are subscribed to a Discord channel. If you type Andrew Tate in TikTok and search users, there's like thousands.
I think in August he was the most searched person in the whole
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
I think that's a fact. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like just think about it. Like, yeah, he's cancelled now, but who gives a damn? Like, he's making money after money after money while sleeping, while eating, while shitting. It doesn't really matter what he's doing. He will be making money.
He argued the other day actually that he's now more famous than ever.
Yeah, because of the cancelling.
Yeah, of course. And that's the thing. Like, what people don't understand, like big companies, like the one who's, for example, social medias, by cancelling somebody who's already so known in the whole world.
Yeah, and influential.
Yeah, and trending. It doesn't really matter. Because then the people who follow him, which is a lot of people, will get even more angry and will even more start to look at his content because they want the content to become famous. So other people will see it and nobody can really go anywhere without seeing his content.
One thing I love about Andrew Tate and Tristan is that they both promote hard work all the time.
Yes.
So hard work is like also how a lot of people say, like, hard work beats talent every single.
Yeah,
and it pays off
because they're self-made.
They're self-made.
Yeah, they really are self-made, and it's like.
And this idea of going to sleep mad because you're not accomplishing what you want.
Yes.
Whatever it might be in life. Let's say you want to make money, right? Just getting it done, whatever you want to do.
Can I put that? Thank you. Yeah.
Just working so long until you achieve this goal. I think this is something great. Like,
yeah, it is.
How are you going to accomplish anything in life if you're just talking about it?
Yeah.
Or like just being like, oh, I want to do this, but then you're like, I'm just lazy and you don't want to.
Actually, this is also how this podcast started.
Yeah.
It's like we were just talking about it.
We're talking about it for a long time.
But we were just talking about it. And then one day I was just like, I went online and I just bought all the gear.
Hard work pays off, and there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, it's just the base structure.
Yeah, there's no easy way out. Like, people think nowadays, like, oh yeah, if I do this, if I do that, oh,
I can cheat my way through.
I can cheat my way through the Matrix.
Yeah, it can. There is luck.
There is always luck.
But it's just like, why would you bet on the 2% luck when you can bet on the 98% of hard work?
Yeah, exactly.
It just makes sense. Like, just
like,
go with that.
Like that. This is what I've been saying to most people. Like, if you want to make money, start today. Why tomorrow?
Eliom.
Yeah.
Say Eliom.
Yeah. This.
Eliom.
What do you think about, like, especially equality in Finland?
Oh boy.
Like between men and women.
Baba boy.
Oh boy.
Like what's your like take on it?
Like the equality. With
equality part.
Women and men.
Yeah.
The way the government does.
Because I know, like, in law, in Finnish law, women and men are equal.
Yes, in every single way.
Except the army thing. Because like men has to go to army or civil service, and women don't have any like requirements. I'm fine with it. Yeah. Some people say that women should have civil service, like necessary for half a year. But I think it's like, it doesn't really matter.
No, I think overall in Finland we are equal.
The problem with having, like, looking at like how much men make in total and how much women make in total. Okay, we have like 50-50 population in the world, around. But the problem is that usually women are in like lower paid jobs.
Yeah.
So if I would do the study, I would actually look at women who are in certain, like from like per field. Like, let's say women engineers, men engineers. What's the difference? You understand?
Yeah.
If you look at entrepreneurs, it doesn't matter. It's so random. Women cleaners, men cleaners, women construction workers, men construction workers. If you like check like that, you can see like a lot of difference.
So here, for example, in Finland, they say 2020, the men average make about 3,991 euros per month, and women make 3,363 euros per month. But this is overall, so this is not.
Yeah, it's overall.
Yeah, this is not a certain. But here we can just see, like, if you think about it, it's not that big.
But if you also think about it, there is more men in higher management positions.
Yes.
And also entrepreneurs.
I have to say, I'm actually surprised by this number.
It's not that big of a difference. I think personally it's not that big of a difference, because that was the average making per year.
Yeah, but
like the monthly make.
But that's what I'm not surprised about that. I'm more surprised about the number, how high it is. Like the fact that men and women actually here make almost 4K an average.
Yeah, that's a
That's
you
a lot
know
of money.
in Finland that's the thing. In Finland we are, you know, the people who work in Finland, you know, they study, you know, that's the good thing about Finland. We are usually really like in that way, like we study, we have professions and that way. You know,
A lot of people that I've met, like, they have businesses and they almost always complain. Like, even if a lot of people make a lot of money here, they always complain about the fact that, you know, taxes.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, like, how do you feel about this whole taxes thing? Like, do you think Finland takes too much taxes?
Like, did you ever work in Spain?
Yes, I did.
So how was the taxes like different?
In Finland, we have this thing when if you start working, you will until 10,000 euros, you don't have to pay tax, and that will reset every single year. So, like for example, let's say you make from 2021 to 2022, you make 5k. The next year, you can still make at least 5k tax free. In Spain, they don't have this system. So in Spain, I paid taxes when you can start working at 16, like legally. I paid taxes when I was 16.
So you worked illegally before.
So I was paying taxes when I started working. I remember when I got my first check, I paid, I think from like, I was working at a supermarket, so I got maybe like 200 euros. And I think I paid like 50 euros tax.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So it does really matter in Spain. So I think overall, taxes are it's a controversial thing. Of course, everyone wants to say we want less tax because you want more money in your bank. But then at the same time, you know, with those tax monies, some part of it go to some good things.
And what I like about Finland is like when there is like a tax change, like taxes go up. Like if that happened in France, like just a bit little goes like taxes up, they go like outside and have a riot. Okay, but here in Finland, they look at the news and they're like, oh, taxes went up, perkele.
Yeah.
And then just continue.
I think to the end of the day, we can go back and forth saying this and that and that. The basic system of taxes. So if we don't take the diesel taxes, which you know, guys, my opinion about it's way too high. But if we just take the basic tax system, so how much you pay taxes of your salary, I think it's good. Because
it's all right.
You have a guy who only makes 20,000 a year. He will pay that tax for only 20,000 a year. And then you have a guy who makes 100k per year, and he will pay his own tax. And I think the way it goes up, it's also quite good. So it's and you know, it's of course, you know, the guys who make 100k a year and pay a lot of taxes, they will say no, I want to pay less.
But I also think like here in Finland, it's more beneficial to have your own company, like your name as your own company. Let's say like 2 examples. If I go work at Wärtsilä and I work there as an employee, my taxes are about 24, 25%.
Yeah, usually because something you make around 50k
like
a year or something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if I do the same thing, but I do it as a separate company, so that I make a deal with Wärtsilä that hey, I'm gonna make a consulting company, and you're gonna hire me through that. And they don't have to pay my employee taxes. No. They don't have to pay anything, healthcare, nothing.
Yeah, you have your own shit.
I have my own stuff. And my tax is going to be 20%.
Yes.
So it's lower taxes. I pay less. They pay less. We both win.
Yeah, it's a win-win situation.
So like, I think like people don't realize that, or if they do, they're just too lazy to do it.
We had a meeting, or like there was a Zoom call with a couple people, and it was supposed to talk about immigrants. It went into the I forgot the name.
Ministry.
The Finnish ministry, basically. Yeah. And me and Jonas were part of it, and we had a conversation about immigrants and if they how we could help them basically in this country and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we had talk about how Finnish people, like older generation have good work ethics.
Yes.
And nowadays people more like, okay, let's go smoking break and coffee break, and now people actually want to hire more immigrants just because they are like workhorses. That's what I said there.
Yeah.
I was like, they're like workhorses.
Yeah.
Until they adapt the Finnish working.
Yes, until they see how, okay, like we are making the same money, but this guy is taking like 50 minutes breaks more than me. Okay, why am I doing this much work?
If I own a company, obviously I want to lowball offer everyone. Some people are better at like negotiating the salary. So let's say we all three work for the same company. Let's say we're all IT and we do exactly the same work. In Finnish workplace, we wouldn't tell each other how much we make. This guy makes 5k, this guy makes 2k, and I'm like trainee. And then I'm like, oh, I'm trainee, I make like 1k, and then I'm like, oh, Rasmus, how much do you make? And you like don't want to tell me because like it's just wired in your brain. But if you tell me you make 5k, then I'm like, how much do you make? Bro, you guys getting paid? Like,
yeah.
That's
no, but it happens. Like it's really true. Like it's a sad thing I think in Finnish workplace. Like we don't talk about the salaries. To be honest, there is nowadays like companies don't really have the possibility to be, sexist. Like even if there is an old guy, old boss who would want to think women should be home, stuff like this. If the situation comes where there's a woman who's well educated, she knows what she's doing, she has been working before, she comes in and she knows what she's worth, and she tells that, hey, I want 4.5k a month. That's what I've been paid before, and with my experience, blah 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 blah. If he says no, and just explains some random ass bullshit reason, and somehow she gets to know what, for example, her male co-worker makes,
who's less experienced,
blah blah blah, she will raise hell to that company and they will be under fire. And I think in a way it's a good thing that nowadays we can't really just say, oh yeah, no, you won't make this much because you're a woman.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think it's good that we kind of have this social media thing where people can go if it's actually a legit reason to go and complain.
Yes.
But then we have these ones who just complain because they want to complain, and they think everything is they think everything is sexist. They think everything is so against them. Like everything is just attacking on women and babati yapati. Like it's really sad. Like because there's so many people who go too far with this mentality that everything is against them. Everybody is against women. Everybody wants to have women at home and they want to make less money and stuff like that. But that's not true.
Like people that can't even take jokes anymore and stuff.
No, they can't, and that's a really sad part.
It's sad because you should know your own worth. You should know, like, okay, this guy, he thinks because I'm a woman I'm less. You should just laugh at it and be like, I'm way better than you. And,
exactly.
Most things that I'm doing, literally, you know your own worth. You have to be like, well, if you don't agree with the women having the same pay as men, or even if I'm more experienced, I should get more than you, even though you're a man. It doesn't matter what you are, a woman, man, as long as you're actually benefiting what you're doing more, and there's more reason for me to hire you. Why wouldn't I pay a woman 3k more than a man? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It's really weird. This is the funny thing about the feminism, the modern day extreme feminism. Let's say it like this, because that's the case. Is that they are not interested in equality anymore. They are interested in becoming the men which we were 100 years ago, where the situation was like women were...
they want to basically like go back to like 1800s.
They want to go back in the history and they want to change the roles. So nowadays it's how it was back then, but the women are the ones controlling the men and telling the men what to do and stuff like this.
Then when the shit hits the fan, they're all gone. You don't hear anything anymore, bro. I agree with I think this whole equality thing, it's a great thing, and I don't think a woman is better than a man or a man is better than a woman. It's literally very personal.
But I don't like, because like women want equality of outcome, so they want like when a man or a woman or anyone tries something, they want the same outcome. Like there's a good thing there should be equality of opportunity.
Yes.
So everyone should be able to become the president.
Yes.
So everyone can apply.
Yes.
If they're finished. But like everyone can like apply for this management position, but they shouldn't have the equality of outcome. Like if everyone has the equality of outcome, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, there is no equality of outcome if the outcome isn't the same.
Exactly.
If we speak about one subject more, we can speak about the importance, I think, nowadays of men's mental health.
Yes.
And I think it's really a sad thing when nowadays we don't really give a shit about it.
Like the funny thing is, like I've never been depressed.
No, neither have I. Actually, yeah, COVID time
Like,
I did.
I've had a burnout, but I've never been depressed or
I've been slightly depressed once.
because like the thing is like I don't know what depression is. So
Yeah.
like
It's hard to explain it when you haven't had it. And the thing is, also with my case, I didn't have a big depression. It wasn't like I was dying.
how do you know it's not big? Like because you never felt someone else's depression.
That's true.
And because like no one
Well,
actually says what depression is.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
facts.
I think
that's
depression is actually cap, and it's just like people just teach like, oh, if you feel down or something, like you can call it depression. But then everything can just be called depression, right?
I think it goes to it depends on the level of how you feel, like, because there is some
facts. How much it affects
statistics.
your life.
No,
Yeah.
because like let's say I have a problem in life and it feels bad. Okay, I could say I'm depressed, but it's just because of the problem.
Yeah.
So there's also a reason for that feeling, but it's necessarily not depression.
Yeah, I don't.
You could be just troubled or
Yeah. I don't really know how you can evaluate this depression. Is it like, can you see it medically?
The thing is,
Can you see depression medically?
there is
Because my friend is psychologist, and he told me like depression, like when they treat depression, they like tell the subject, like the
person, yeah.
the person, like forget about all the depression. Like what's the problem, you know?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I kind of believe what you also say, that it's like the human's brain is really powerful.
It is powerful.
It's almost to a point where we don't even understand.
Yeah.
And it's definitely true that I think that if you want to be depressed, you can be depressed. You can, for example, just because, for example, our friend lost his driving license, he can now decide that he wants to be either really depressed, or he says, okay, this is sad,
I'm gonna learn how to.
but I'm gonna learn how to live without,
No, I'll start
Yeah.
riding a bike and I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like he can take it like positively. Like he can like
But-
now can go for walks.
he can save money.
and he
Yeah.
saves money. He
Yeah.
gets fit, like
Yeah,
driving
yeah.
a bike
I
in
still wanna
snow, right?
I still want to stress this a lot, so we don't get cancelled. Still, it's not always your fault if you're depressed. Sometimes in life, you cannot control it. Like
No, you can't control life. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
of life.
You cannot do it. Like
Yeah.
if there's something which happens.
If there is someone who can control life, like please come here and like teach me.
Yeah.
There's two kind of different depressions. There is when you're feeling depressed, it doesn't mean you have depression.
Yeah.
But having depression means that you are being depressed for a long time because your brain is kind of feeding into the depression.
Yeah.
So it's a mental health, but it's caused by yourself in a
Yeah.
way because you're thinking about the situation so much.
And
Yeah.
then this going back into the men's mental health, how when you're depressed, right? There is this idea that men are supposed to suck it up. Instead of talking about it.
just
But that's facts.
own it.
But this
yeah,
is the
men
thing.
are supposed to own their feelings.
They're supposed to own their feelings, but one thing I think myself,
no, like okay, like
let me just say this. I had this feeling, and me talking about it to other people, therapists especially, it actually helped me. Even though it didn't do anything, I was pouring out my emotions to someone who professionally knows what they're doing, and it helped me cope with my problem.
I think
That's what happened to me.
I think
personally.
I understand the both of your like opinion. I think I understand what you mean, that okay, if you have a depression, you kind of suck it up and you
Of course.
you go for it. But I understand what you also mean is that we as humans, we are really emotional. Even if we don't accept it, our brains work in a certain way that if we talk with somebody, it doesn't really matter if it's just depression. If you have, for example, a problem, your car broke down. If you speak to your friend, hey, my car broke down.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, well, come on, man. Like, okay, it's really sad, but hey, the life moves on. Everything is fine. It's just a car. You can...
Why is everyone looking at me?
he's giving like
I literally just... his car is not broken down.
I know, but
It was, but not anymore. So, come on, man. It's... Let's say you for some reason had a bad day at work. you kind of want to tell somebody. You want to be like, hey, okay, I had a bad day at work. Or they're like, okay, well, you know, that's life. Blah, blah, blah. But then you're like, yeah, true. But if you are feeling really sad, and especially remember, like, you cannot control everything, as we said. Life is really, you cannot control it. So so everything can happen.
Because let me add something to this that will make kind of sense. Like, imagine you have a problem in your head, right? Or so you have something going on in your life, and you're like always thinking about it. Especially in my case, I overthink things, right? So I keep thinking about it. It bubbles up in my head, right? If I ask Jonas, you know what? I have this problem. This happened. I don't know what to do. He might say something to me that will open up a new path.
Yes.
A new idea that I haven't thought about, and it will help me find a way of dealing with it.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Because we did that.
Yeah.
And like my whole idea like about problems, I never like think like, oh, I have depression.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, I have a problem.
Yes.
Or I have a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily a problem, a challenge, because I have to come over it. You know.
Yes.
And usually what I do is I just look to the source, what's the problem, and like assess the situation, what can I do about it, is there anything to do about it, and so on. Like I don't like dive into depression and just accept, now I have depression, like that's my life now.
Yeah,
you know?
I understand. It's also about the way you want to handle it. Like if you can decide, okay, let's say I have a problem, this problem A, I have this problem, it's here, I know what the problem is. I can either in that situation decide, okay, I'm gonna let this problem affect me in every single way of my daily life, or you say, okay, this problem,
I'm gonna do something.
I will do something about it. And you can try and do as much as you can, but when you realize, as you said, that now my head cannot process this thing anymore. Like for example, when somebody dies, a relative dies, you can try, and in your head you can try as long as you can try and control the emotions, you can try and process it, but when you go to that line when now I just can't get it over with, that's when it's easier to open up to somebody else, and they can say something which you haven't thought about, which will then release the pressure, like release the pressure which you had here, and say, hey, it's true. Why did you not think about this earlier?
Well, everyone has problems.
I
have still problems.
Yeah, everybody has
always problems. It's not like even like if you look at someone, you're like, oh, this guy has such a nice life because he doesn't. Bro,
50k. Okay, continue.
1 million, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about.
Yeah. 50k.
Oh, okay. And
Man went depressed.
He started thinking.
Okay.
He lost his
I will slide. I will continue here. My man he has a situation. My dad always taught me because he has back problems and he has been in a lot of surgery, stuff like this. So it's really mad. So he has this thing which he does every single morning. Like before he wakes up, before he like steps out of the bed and goes to anything, he lays down and he thinks about all the positive things he has in his life. He's healthy, he's living, he has a family, blah, blah, blah. Like I think it's all you can actually be your own, like, in a way.
Basically what you're trying to say is you can either let all the bad things pull you down, or you can take the good things and let them lift you up.
Yeah, you can be your own. You can be your own kind of guy who, like, you can be the guy who says to yourself, okay, today's gonna be a good day. Or you can be the guy who tells yourself, today's gonna be a bad day. If we go back to the whole idea, I believe, and this is what somebody, like, if you out there and you have a feeling like, hey, when I wake up I feel, a bit work, life. Try one day, before you wake up, your alarm goes off, you are in your bed, think about all the positive things you have in your life. Think about your friends, think about your family, think about, you have a roof over your head, you are not in a war, you don't starve, you have water. Be happy that you have stuff like that. And try to build your own mental health in a way. Try to, like, basically,
it's literally in the eye of the viewer. Like, if you think about it, there's some people who will not just have a good day, they will sing in happiness if they get a soup. To eat. That's it. Some people, like, it's just in your head what you are used to and what you think is good, what you think is normal. For us, for example, food. Okay, we all eat every day, many times. Good food. We're happy with that. But imagine people that literally don't even have food. They don't have water, man.
Yeah, think
3
about it.
days without, or 2 days without water, and then they get some dirty water from some.
And they will
somewhere.
be happy as
Like, that's why I'm thinking, like, I don't know who's to blame here.
Yeah.
Are you to blame for, like, getting upset at things that don't really matter, or what's the reason? Like, why are we getting upset at this?
I think it's something which when people say, for example, like I remember like back in the day when like my parents said like, oh, think about the children in whatever country.
Yeah, always like Africa.
And
Think about eat your broccoli, bro. Okay, bro, I'll eat the broccoli.
I'll eat the broccoli, but the thing is like
Man, I'm from Africa, bro.
I've been thinking about you a lot, man. Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man,
Bro,
no, but like
I was also said like think about your cousins, bro. I'm kidding. I never actually had that like problem.
Yeah.
Ever.
but I think it's
My mom never said that.
I think
Movies, you
I
know?
think the point of saying that is like remember that you are blessed with having food on the table. That's like that's the point of saying it. It's not about comparing to whatever person, and I think it's not also a good idea to start thinking about those ways. You know, like no, don't go too far to it. Don't think, okay, now I should be so happy and babadi because I have water and stuff like this because
just
somebody
about being
else don't
grateful,
have.
right?
Yeah, just be grateful. Don't think too far into it because you can find anything to be like, oh, I'm grateful to have socks on my feet. Like, no, but to be honest, you know what I mean? Like you can go into depth into it if you really want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be grateful about living. Just be grateful about doing basic stuff without having
being able to do it.
to be, you know, walking 20 miles to get water. Like just be happy that you have water and you can just open something and it comes as much as you want.
It's our second guest for like ever.
Yeah,
Like we had Muha.
we had Muha once. Episode will be right here.
Yeah, we talked about army.
That was a good episode.
It was a really good episode. But I like how we can talk about like anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we talked about your background also, but it was like it was nice having you here.
It was really nice having you because like I realized you're like a machine. Keep going. You always have something to say.
And I like talking about these stuff, even though they're controversial. But like, okay, I could have done an episode with Nasser, but Nasser is very careful. He doesn't want to get cancelled because I don't care if I get cancelled.
I still gave some good opinions. Like
But
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah,
Like you give good opinions, and the thing is, like, it's always important to have. I think, like, in
Both sides.
as friend group, there's always the one guy who don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There's always the guy who's shy. There's always the guy who's who really thinks carefully what he says and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So I think, and there's always the guy who speaks too much me. So there's like and Josef. So there has to be. I think it's a good balance between when we talk about controversial shit. We have people who are like, yeah, I don't give a damn who anybody thinks. Then we have the guy who thinks a bit about some people. That's like me. I still care about you guys. Jonas does, but he doesn't just say it. And then
that's right. That's right.
and then we have Nasser who really thinks about people. So
I'm like
it's a good balance.
You know.
It's a good balance, you know.
I hold my
I have a big
emotions.
heart with a big love.
Yeah. So it's a good balance. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to coming again.
I
on-
was just
on
gonna
this
say
podcast.
like, please don't let this be the last time.
No, hell
We
no. Like,
need
this is
you
gonna
again.
be. This is gonna be like we're just warming up. Like if you don't like the episode, like you know, we're gonna find you.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
you know, we know where you
He
live.
has some Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
connections,
yeah. Subscribe al canal, dale un like y that's it.
Liked und subscribt den Kanal und ich hoffe, wir sehen uns bald
Yeah.
wieder.
Yeah, dankeschön, you know what I'm saying?
Dankeschön. Well, yeah. this is
Big
already-
things coming.
You guys see, like we've stepped up everything. We stepped up this. We have a cat.
Oh yeah.
We have
yeah.
Rasmus.
Yeah, what's up, man?
A man with culture in his head. Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, there's gonna be a lot more coming in the future.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, and see you guys. Peace.
Peace.